As the world's largest country, Russia encompasses 9 time zones and contains within its borders dozens of ethnic groups. For about 70 years, it existed as the Soviet Union. Hey, everyone! Welcome to Fillapedia. In today's video, we are going to go over the top 10 fascinating facts about Russia. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Dash cams. Anyone with an internet connection will have seen some pretty crazy dashcam footage. Sometimes it comes from police cars, and the rest of the time it comes from cars in Russia. Although the footage provides entertainment, such as by capturing film of the meteor strike over the Chelyabinsk region in February 2013, the real reason Russian drivers so frequently employ dash cams is to protect themselves from fraud. An unfortunate cottage industry has sprung up in the country, which involves the staging of accidents in order to profit from insurance claims and lawsuits. The scams can be elaborate, but they're often as simple as a pedestrian throwing himself in front of a slow-moving car and then feigning injury. Number 9. Vodka. There's a Russian proverb which goes, "The church is near but the road is icy. The tavern is far but I will walk carefully." And there is no more inexorable stereotype of the Russian people than their traditional love of vodka, traditionally guzzled neat. The holiday season is usually marked by a week-long binge. During this period, the average Russian is said to spend $400 on alcohol alone. Such risky behavior is not without consequence. In excess of 23,000 people die of alcohol poisoning each year in Russia, and alcohol-related homicides, assaults, and suicides are all among the highest in the world. Life expectancy is lower than in many developing countries, with the average man expected to live the tender age of 63. Number 8. Surrogate alcohol. In 1985, Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev introduced an anti-alcohol campaign that sought, among other methods, to decrease alcohol production and to raise prices. While this proved mildly effective, the fall of the USSR 6 years later turned into a party. All of a sudden, alcohol was available in massive quantities, and the population rejoiced. As a result, the country went into a tailspin from which it has yet to recover. On top of legally produced vodka, a great deal of surrogate alcohol began to be manufactured illegally. A great deal of this is samagon, a homemade liquor of wildly varying quality, reminiscent of moonshine. Other alcohol-deprived Russians are desperate enough to consume any product containing alcohol, ranging from cologne to aftershave and even window cleaners. Some of these substances can have alcohol levels twice as high as standard vodka, and contain plenty of toxic ingredients as well. It is almost impossible to determine just how serious the alcohol problem is, but certain measures, such as a 2010 policy to double the minimum purchase price of vodka, have only made things worse. Number 7. World War II. The final death toll of World War II remains a subject of contention, but there can be little doubt that the Soviets suffered far more casualties than any other nation. Charged with single-handedly defending an entire front against the Germans, the Soviets may have lost in excess of 30 million people, including civilians, around 14% of their entire population. In the Battle of Stalingrad alone, it is believed that more Soviets died than the Americans lost during the whole war. Number 6. Russians have a lot of superstitions. From rubbing a dog's paw, but only with your left hand, for money to making a wish if you could successfully toss a coin into Peter the Great's boot, we learned about a lot of superstitions. But my favorite was how Russians selected where to build their homes in ancient times. Of course, it was a superstition that the first to enter a new house would die, so naturally they'd send a cat in first. They have 9 lives after all. If the cat refused to enter, they'd tear down the structure and rebuild somewhere else. Number 5. Moscow has the third busiest metro in the world. Topping the list of the world's busiest metros at number 3, just behind Tokyo and Seoul, there are 12 lines and more than 6 million people ride the Moscow Metro daily. Opened in 1935 with 111 km (6.8 miles) line and 13 stations, It was the first underground railway system in the Soviet Union. As of 2021, the Moscow Metro, excluding the Moscow Central Circle, the Moscow Central Diameters and the Moscow Monorail, has 239 stations and its route length is 408.1 kilometers, making it the sixth longest in the world and the longest outside China. The system is mostly underground, with the deepest section 74 meters underground at the Park Pobedi station, one of the world's deepest underground stations. It is the busiest metro system in Europe, and is considered a tourist attraction in itself. Number 4. Gerard Depardieu technically lives in Russia. Saransk's most celebrated inhabitant is Gerard Depardieu, who, having left France due to new tax laws, was granted Russian citizenship by Vladimir Putin himself in 2013. The actor sought Russian citizenship after the French government criticized his decision to move abroad to avoid higher taxes. For reasons that he never revealed, he chose Saransk as his home address. He received a flat there as a gift from Russian actor Nikolai Borodachev and has since refurbished a cinema and started a cultural foundation named after him. While Depardieu is not known for strolling down the streets of Saransk himself, you can go to see a film in the refurbished cinema. Number 3. It has the third highest concentration of billionaires in the world. Moscow used to reign for the number of billionaires who called Russia home. Moscow had the number 1 title, housing 84 of the world's billionaires. It seems that some have moved along in pursuit of bigger business opportunities abroad. Nowadays, it barely falls behind New York City and Hong Kong. But even now, Moscow is still home to some 71 billionaires. In 2019 alone, these men were worth $421 billion combined. They have estimated that a staggering 89% of Russia's wealth is controlled by the richest 10% of the population. The Russian president, Vladimir Putin, is a part of the wealthy few controlling not only the money but also the politics of the enigmatic nation. Number 2. Women greatly outnumber men. Russian women outnumber the men in Russia by a whopping 11 million. This has been the case for over a century. It is believed that during World War II that the number of men decreased significantly after the war took the lives of over 25 million soldiers. In modern day, though, this trend has worsened due to the high abuse of alcohol and cigarettes throughout the former USSR countries. The low life expectancy as a result of drug and alcohol abuse has solidified the low number of males in the region. The gender ratio in Russia is currently 86.8 men per 100 women. This has greatly affected the traditional society where the women marry young and have babies quickly. Russian women are now being required to seek marriages outside of Russia, with foreigners, in order to adjust to the general lack of men. This is where mail-order brides come in. Russian women aren't just becoming mail-order brides for a better life anymore, but also out of necessity. There just aren't enough Russian men for the number of women, so it's a way for them to get out of the country and date men who are available and interested in marriage. Number 1. Dogs know how to navigate the subway. Moscow is famous for its subway riding dogs. Yes, they actually know how to navigate and ride the subway without human assistance. These animals have figured out where to get on and off to find food and other supplies. The city is home to over 35,000 stray dogs, but only a handful of the more intelligent ones have found and mastered this mode of transportation in efforts to survive. They believe about 24 of these clever dogs navigate the subway on a daily basis, using their sense of smell to guide them. Apparently, these dogs have learned to recognize and respond to human signals. Dogs also get positive reinforcement and attention from humans on subways, furthering their desire to return. They also begin to distinguish different stations by smell and know which stops are associated with receiving food. With that being said, here we come to the end of our video. I hope you like this video. If so then, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you never miss any video. See you in the next video. Till then, take care. Thanks for watching.